Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. I am out here on the awesome, beautiful glacier. I believe it's a furthermost southern glacial lake, at least in Wisconsin. So we are out on Lake Geneva. Big, deep, about 5,000 acre square foot deep clear lake that is loaded full of walleyes, good populations of smallies, has some big muskies, big largies, bluegills, crappies. So it's really a great lake. Not a lot of rough fish, tons of boat traffic though, so be warned. It's not bad yet, but we just launched the boat right here, and I'm going to just start right here. Today's video, we are going to try to do a Lake Geneva catch and cook. For all you guys that like to eat fish and like to catch walleyes, I apologize for the wind. We got a little bit of wind today, but I'm going to do a catch and cook, and we're going to try to get 3 legal walleyes. I'm going to show you my favorite recipe for years, the tartar sauce and a beer batter. We're going to make that tonight. So I got to catch the fish in order to cook the fish. We're going to just start off by a couple of different baits that are probably going to be the go-to baits, and that is just a 16th ounce, 1/8 ounce, or 1/4 ounce jig head with 8-pound fluorocarbon leader, and then a 10-pound braid. That's on one of my favorite new spinning rods. These are the Trika all carbon, right here in Wisconsin. I love supporting our local companies. It's a brand new company. Check them out. They're super light, super sensitive, probably the best walleye rods I've had a chance to use, and they have a pretty awesome warranty. You can use this rod for a year. If you don't like it, you can exchange it for a different one. So the customer service is top notch. Check out Trika rods in the description. That's paired on a Piscifun Lumex here. This is one of their new reels that Piscifun has. Super smooth ball bearings. I use this reel in saltwater and freshwater. You can use my code EH15, save 15% on one of these new Lumex reels. Or my favorite reel here is the Carbon X and the Carbon X2. Same thing, use that EH15 code. Piscifun sells reels, they sell backpacks, they have all sorts of different fishing accessories, so use my code EH15. Check out one of these Carbon X2s or the Lumex, any of the new reels. They're really a great reel for your money, and that's what I love about them. We're gonna start fishing here. We're just gonna maybe throw a spinner and a crawler harness, or the good old jig and a half a crawler, and we're gonna see if we can catch some fish. Here we go. On. Just like that, we on. Nice one. It's a good one, guys. It's a good one. First one of the day, and it's a big one. Well, it's a big one. It's a big fish, nice fish, real nice fish. Got to get the net ready. Real nice fish. Oh boy, that's a really good one. Really nice one. All right, there we go. First one of the day. Took about 5 minutes. All right guys, so one thing I want to point out, I see some walleyes and they're really tight to the bottom, which means they probably have been pressured or fished a bunch, or they're not that active. You can see how they're just laying right down there on the bottom right now. See them? So typically when I see them laying on the bottom, that means they're going to be a little tougher to catch. We shall see. Here we go. cast the spinner out. I saw them, they were tight to the bottom. Threw a couple jigs in there. Just looked at the jig. I said, you know what, I haven't tried a spinner yet. So I just picked up the spinner and the tungsten weight. If you watch the walleye videos I do, it's just kind of a Carolina rig and a spinner with a tungsten bass weight. And the rest is hang on for your limit. Trying to get a little catch and cook here. See how long it takes us. Shouldn't be too long. And there is number 2, guys. We need one more and we're gonna go do a catch and cook. I'm gonna cook dinner for my family. I'm gonna cook up these delicious Lake Geneva walleyes. You know, it is important that our state continues to stock walleyes. I'd be even in favor of a walleye stamp or something, because without stocking of these great lakes here, Geneva or all our lakes, you're not going to have these. We don't have a lot of natural reproducing fish. That's a perfect eater, about a 19 incher. I got a 22 incher, perfect eaters. we are on, guys. We are on. Ooh, I just lost my last rod there trying to get this fish in the net. Goal was to come here and get a limit. And looks like we got it. All right. There we go. There's our limit. Show you this fish. All right, there we go. There's our limit fish. I've been out here about an hour and a half, got my 3 fish. I'm gonna go home and now show you my favorite, you must try this, catch and cook recipe, from the tartar sauce to the beer batter. I'm gonna show you, clean them up real quick, and I'll show you my favorite recipe. Here we go. All right, guys, so I just got back home, caught my limit of Lake Geneva walleyes. I want to show you my favorite way how to cook them up here. But first, let me show you how to fillet them up. Now, I like a electric fillet knife. I also have regular fillet knives, but I really like this Rapala R12. It's a lithium fillet knife. And the first thing is, I always bleed out my fish, but as you can see, there's a part of the cheek meat here. So what I do is I take the knife, I press down, and I take this cheek out, which is basically like a big scallop. Just like that, flip it over, and then I peel with my thumb, and there's the cheek. That's a really, really good part of the meat, and I put that right here. I have paper towel right here ready. I got a bucket here. Now here's my cut. I'm gonna take this fin back. I'm gonna cut right here. I'm gonna go down to the backbone, and I'm gonna angle all the way down through the tail. Okay, here we go. Backbone right there. Angle it down. Nice and slow. And remember, it's not a race, guys. It's more important to make sure you're maximizing the amount of meat you get off the fillet and the fish. So there's my fillet. You see the rib cage right here? I bled the fish out so the meat's pretty white. Now I'm just gonna make a cut right down the back side of the ribs a little bit, once or twice. I'm gonna peel the ribs right off. And then we're gonna grab, and we're just gonna peel. Well, let's try that. Peel these right off. Just like that. And then we're gonna skin this fish. I'm gonna take my finger here, grab the skin. A little tricky, push down on an angle. Hold the skin really tight. And now, last but not least, you see this mud line right here, this little mud line? There's a set of bones in here as well that stop right about here. But all this dark meat I take out. So all this meat is white. So I do 2 cuts, one right down the edge here. Take my finger and I rub right along these bones. Pull the bones out like that. Then I just take this mud line right out like this. As much of this mud line as I can take out. Basically, there you go. You got yourself a nice, take a paper towel, dry them off. And all these fillets, basically, you shouldn't, see how white that looks? All that white meat, that's what you want. That's how all the fillets look. They're all nice and white, just like that. All right, so just follow that step by step. I know it was kind of quick, but if you're not sure how to fillet a fish, get an electric fillet knife, follow that step by step. Now we're gonna go into cooking them. All right, guys, so you're gonna wanna write this down. If you like tartar sauce, I really believe this is probably some of the best tartar sauce that I've ever had or tried or made. So let's go over the basic recipes. You're gonna need mayo. I'll show you how much. You're gonna need a little bit of yellow mustard. I like sweet pickles here, like the relish. This is the brand I like, and we mince these up, okay? We'll also have a white onion, Vidalia onion minced up, probably about a half of it. We don't even need all that. Here's the relish all minced up. It's a sweet pickle, so it's really good. I saved the juice. I'll show you why, just in case I need a little bit extra. And last but not least, fresh dill from our garden right here, minced up, and fresh tarragon from our garden. So, and basically this is how I make the tartar sauce. Got some mayo, take a couple scoops out. I don't really measure. If I had to guess, what would you say, hon? That's maybe a good cup and a half?
Yeah.
So,
2 cups.
I don't know. So 2 cups, cup and a half of mayo. So I don't really measure it. I just kind of, I go by taste. Dump in all the relish with all that juice. Dump all that and mix that, start mixing that up. Dump in the dill and tarragon. Get that out of the way. And then we'll put in maybe half these onions. Sweet onions. Take some yellow mustard. Put a little yellow mustard in there. Then we just start whipping it all up. And this is fantastic. And if I have a little bit too much of one thing or the other, I can always add more mayo. But this tartar sauce, you guys, you mix it up like this, it is fantastic. I'll just take a little taste and we'll see. Do we need more of anything? Perfect. All right, check it out. World's best tartar sauce. You saw how I made it. Now we're gonna go get the fish and I'm gonna show you a very simple, easy beer batter that goes with this tartar sauce that is the bomb. All right, guys, we caught our walleyes, we made our tartar sauce. Now we're gonna make our beer batter and then dip our fish in them. The oil is hot, but I wanna quickly go over the beer batter. The first thing is, the first ingredient is flour. Now we made a double batch. So for a single batch, it's 2/3 cup of flour in here, but we put 2 cups of 2/3 cups of flour in here. Because we made a double batch and we're feeding about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 people. Followed by a half of a teaspoon of salt. And again, I made a double batch. So I put 2 half teaspoons of salt in here. Also, a half teaspoon of baking soda. So I've got baking soda, 2 teaspoons, 2 half teaspoons of baking soda, 2 half teaspoons of salt. And I am not a chef. So I'm just doing this because this is my favorite beer batter recipe and I want to share it with you guys, so bear with me. So we'll add that. All right. And I'll always post this under my comments exactly what else. And last but not least, we need to add 1 tablespoon of vinegar, or I'm sorry, 2 tablespoons of vinegar. And tablespoon right here.
No, over there.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. What would I do without my wife? So 2 tablespoons. There's 1.
Because we're making a double batch.
Yep. 2, but I think we forgot our water. And now we need to add water, which
2/3 cup.
we need to add 2 2/3 cups of water, which I do have this water, so I'm just going to add it. And basically it's like making a pancake batter. And I may need to go get some more water, but you want it, you know, if you like your pancakes thick, I like it a little thinner than that. And we're just going to mix this up, see how it kind of thickens up. And that's still a little too thick. So what I'm going to do, we just mixed it up. I'm going to add I'm going to go get a little bit more water, thin it out, so it makes it easier to dip the fish in there. So add some water, get some fish, and we're going to cook it in the oil. Here we go. All right, guys, we got our oil right down here. We got our batter. I kind of added a little bit more. I'm going to have you come a little closer, Tosh, and just stand right here. So we're going to take our fish fillets. We're going to dip that in there like that. See how it drips off like pancake batter? I'm going to dump that in like that. And I like the oil to be around 380 to 400 canola oil. And we try to save it and reuse it sometimes a few times. But that's what we're doing. We got a temperature gauge in there. Once it dips down below 400, stop adding fish. That's it, probably I'd say for about, oh, maybe about 5 minutes or so. Just kind of move these around a little bit in here until they get nice and crunchy and brown. We'll take them out and put them right over a little rack here, a paper towel, and eat them right away because they are crunchy. But we'll wait about another minute or two and I'll show you what these look like. All right guys, we're almost done with our first batch and we are going to be wrapping it up. I'm going to keep cooking the fish, but once it gets pretty dark like that, then in here for I'd say about 5 minutes at about 400 degrees. Take these pieces out. They're nice and crunchy. I let them sit over the oil a little bit like this for a little bit. And see how that's still a little brown? We'll let that one sit in there a little longer. That one sit in there, but that's how they look, guys, right there. You take that right there. See this? Get a close-up of that, Tosh. Real close. Look at that. That beer batter right there, guys. You break that open. Put some tartar sauce on that. Butter up some buns. Throw them on a hot pan. Throw some lettuce, cheese, and tartar sauce with this beer battered walleye. It's going to be some of the best fish you're going to have. Whether you like tartar sauce or not, it's a very simple, easy method. Catching them, cooking them up. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's video of the Catch and Cook Lake Geneva walleyes. I'm going to start putting some of this fish down so we can start eating it up. But thanks for watching. Leave me a comment. What's your favorite fish recipe and what's your favorite fish to eat? I'm going to start eating these walleyes. We'll see you guys.